Welcome back to another video. Today is a full review of Gerard's Rose Cut. This one is probably more feminine and it's quite singular. The notes are aldehyde, rum, pink pepper with rose, peony and patchouli, vanilla, oak wood and benzoin are the official notes on the card. And this, unfortunately, was a dabber stick, not a spray. From the dabber, I actually smell a little bit of the rum. You do get kind of a slight booziness and a sweetness from the dabber stick. As soon as I apply it on skin, I don't smell any rum at all. So, I'm not sure. Maybe, I think it's one of those that if you smelled it from the bottle, you'd probably get a bit of it from the nozzle, but when you spray it on, it doesn't really come out on skin. I'm not sure whether that dynamic would change spraying it rather than dabbing, but I don't get the rum on skin. Can smell it a little bit from the dab stick. So what I do get on skin is really singular. I get something like a soft powdered floral. Don't really get rose, I would say more peony, slightly pink, soft, powdered. You would presume there is some kind of iris or orris accord in here because of the powderiness. And really, it smells like a old-fashioned floral talc box that your grandmother might have. That's the impression that it reminds me of, is one of those old-fashioned little boxes that's filled with talcum powder with an old-fashioned pad, and you dab the talc on at your grandmother's house. That's exactly what this smells like to me, and that's it. I could end the review there. There's no change. Underneath that peony floral powdered talcum powder is a nuance of something fruity, and it smells a little bit like raspberry. Just a little bit. It's kind of a raspberry berry fruitiness underneath that floral talc, giving it just a hint of sweetness. A little bit more vanilla comes in on the dry down as well. And the sweetness is a little bit jammy. You could be reminded a little bit of raspberry jam covered in talcum powder. So to me, it smells quite feminine, and I think depending on your memory and your personal experience, it could remind you of your grandmother, or it could smell dated or old-fashioned. It might not do. I think it's completely down to memory and kind of associations. This one does smell like an old lady's talcum powder box with a waft of raspberry in the air. That being said, it smells quite nice. I think it smells good. It's comforting, it's feminine, it's soft, it's quite lovely in the air. So there's nothing bad about it, it's just where your memory goes when you smell it. I don't really get too much of the oak wood or the patchouli or the pink pepper or any of the other notes. It's powdered peony, a little bit of a raspberry, and that's pretty much it. It mellows out like that for the whole scent. Projection sillage is modest within the first hour, and it's gone on my skin in 5 hours, so it's mediocre in performance. It's not great. Obviously skin chemistry dependent. Some people might get way longer, some people might get less. It's always changing, but on my skin it's about 5 hours. I would say this is more suited to women in general. I'm sure there'd be men that would be quite happy to wear this, but in the general public it's more feminine. And it's definitely autumn winter. I wouldn't fancy, I think this would be cloying in the summer or even spring. It doesn't feel appropriate. Autumn winter, colder weather, even though it may have associations for some people with a grandmother or smelling like an old lady, I don't necessarily think that means that you have to be old to wear the fragrance. I think you could rock that even if you're 20 years old or 85 or 90 years old. I don't think it matters. it doesn't matter who wears it, but it's just the connotations that it would bring to each individual that smells it that may remind you of your grandmother's talcum powder box, is the best way I can describe it. So altogether, it smells nice. I like it. It's comforting, it's cozy, it's soft, it's feminine, it's floral, it's powdery, and it's slightly fruity sweet. And that's about it. That's as good as I can describe it to you. It's quite simple. It doesn't really have any changes whatsoever. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed the video. I'll see you again next time with another one.